What's the difference between a traditional top, a double top, and a lattice top guitar?
Okay, well, all three of those things are generic terms. They're very general because traditional guitars can mean lots of things, double tops can mean lots of things, and lattice can mean lots of things. And a lot of times you'll see hybrids where there's traditional elements being fused with sort of a double top element with latticing going on. But basically latticing, extreme forms of lattice are basically like a chain link fence where you see, this really strict system of latticing, basically. That's what that is. Traditional guitars tend to be fan braced, which means from the sound hole in the direction of the bridge, you have a number of fans. It can be 5, it can be 7, it can be 8, it can be 9, whatever, but they fan out from the sound hole. So traditional guitars typically have some kind of fan bracing, and there's a whole variety of ways of doing a traditional guitar. Then when we talk about the double tops, again, this is a very generalized concept because there are lots and lots of ways to do double top guitars. The word double top actually comes from the 1980s, which has nothing to do with tops. It was the Contreras doble tapa, and you'll see those around. So don't get those confused with what we mean when we talk about modern double tops, because in the case of Contreras, the doble tapa just means 2 layers, and he's talking about the back. The back of the guitar has 2 layers of wood. But in the modern sense of what a double top is, we're actually talking about the top and the soundboard, let's call it that. What it means is that you have at least 2 layers, sometimes 3. There's a guitar maker, Sebastian Stenzel, who does a double top. He calls it his enhanced wood, but what he's doing is he's taking 2 pieces of wood and creating grooves in them and then connecting them together in such a way that there's no empty space between them. But most people think of a double top as like what Damon and Wagner do, which is you take 2 pieces of wood and then you sandwich in between them kind of a lattice system of either balsa or Nomex. And again, we're bringing a lattice back into the equation again, because sometimes these systems that are on the inside, sandwiched in between the 2 layers, have a lattice system. And so you'll have areas of emptiness where there are gaps and where there's sort of air leaking through. And then we have another maker who does sort of his concept of double top. For example, his name's Elias Bonnet, and you can look up, we have an article on our website about how he does this. He calls it the I-ray system, where he creates 2 pieces of wood, and then instead of a 3rd layer sandwiched in between, what he does is he does grooves in one of the tops and connects it so that he also has empty space, but instead of it being Nomex or balsa in between, it's part of one of the tops that's the middle area. So again,